Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Marvel Crisis Protocol reveal breakdown. And today we are taking a look at the Vulture. Now, we've seen the front side of his card before, that was revealed at Adepticon, but now we've seen the back side of his card as well. And to be honest, they didn't announce much more than that with this one. I'm not seeing any hints at any affiliations other than Spider Foes, but I have heard the entire box kind of referred to as a Spider Foes slash Criminal Syndicate box now. So I think we can maybe assume that most, if not all, of the models in the box will also be part of Criminal Syndicate. But for now, nothing I'm really seeing in this post mentions Criminal Syndicate in any way. They do repeatedly mention Spider-Man and Spider-Foes and Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. So I mean, obviously, we already knew he was going to be part of Spider-Foes, but currently we don't really have a 100% confirmation that he's going to be anywhere else yet. So nothing new on that front. But yeah, going through the panel to play, they start out with another image of the painted model here, and it is a really nice model. I am excited to paint this guy up when I can get my hands on him. Really solid looking model. And then we go down here and we get to his stat card. So I will go over the front again for anyone who hasn't seen the Adepticon video, and I'll also just acknowledge that the back doesn't look like anything changes. Looks like he's got the same amount of health, and I'm not seeing anything else jumping out at me. Power looks to be the same for all of his attacks, and superpowers, and same for their hitting strength and things like that. So yeah, nothing really new here. We've just kind of confirmed that the flip side of the card is the same as the front side, which is honestly a little disappointing. I was kind of hoping for one more point of health maybe, or something unique on his flip, but unfortunately we're not getting that. So Vulture is coming in as a 3 threat. He's going to be 3/3/3 defensively with 5 stamina. He's going to be size 2 with a medium move. He's coming in with 2 different attacks here. He's got the Raptor Strike. This is a range 2 5 dice builder attack, so he's going to gain power based on the damage that he deals. It's got a Wild Bleed, so he's going to be handing out the bleed condition, which, yeah, that's not bad. As far as builders go, very standard. And then he's got his spender here, Skyline Hunter. This is a 4-cost spender. It's going to be range 3 8 dice before damage is dealt if they are size 3 or less. Throw them medium. As far as spenders for 3 threats go, that's pretty solid. It's got a guaranteed throw on it, a medium throw no less on a size 3 or less character, and it's an 8 dice attack, so relatively solid there. Of course, he is only hitting on the physical side, so that can be a little bit of a downside in some matchups, but definitely a reasonably good spender. So nothing too crazy so far though. Next, he has one active superpower here. He's got Hit and Run. This is a 2-cost, and we've seen this one before a million times. He gets to make an attack action followed by a move action. Solid superpower. It's a little awkward with him being a range 2 or range 3 with the spender attacker primarily. So I guess he's going to kind of want to, like, I don't know, move in, use his attack, and then use the Hit and Run to get out. So it's going to be interesting kind of what range bands he's going to be primarily operating in at. He is medium move on a medium base, so reasonably fast, but I don't think you're going to be attacking with this guy more than once per activation, because if he's up close and personal for too long, he is just going to get murdered. He has Abduct here, which is really funny. It's a 2-cost reactive that says during his activation, when he begins a move action within 2 of an enemy character, he can use the superpower. After the move action is resolved, place the enemy character within 2 of its current position. Superpower can only be used once per turn. So this one I've definitely misinterpreted in the past as being like Vulture drags them with them and then places them beside Vulture's ending position. They just teleport within 2 of their current positions. So you can't drag them, halfway across the board with this, but you can definitely use it to displace someone off of a point, bring them closer to some of your allies, bring them farther away from your allies. So there's a lot of interesting things with that. And really notably is you don't have to place them towards Vulture. You can kind of move forward, hit and run an attack on them, and then when you do that movement after hit and run, you can move away and then send them the opposite direction with Abduct. So you can really put some good distance between Vulture and whatever targets he's going for with that. But all of this, though, will be a lot of power because you're spending 2 for hit and runs there, 2 for Abduct, and your builder isn't anything too special. So he does have Scientific Hubris here to help him get a little bit more power going. When he rolls dice after the effect is resolved, if he rolled at least 1 critical, he will gain 1 power. That's definitely nice to have. That also applies when you're rolling for objectives and defense and dodge and all that as well. So a little bit of extra places he can gain some power, which is certainly nice. And then lastly, on his card, he has the flight superpower, which always useful, especially on a model that's going to be relying a little bit on his mobility to stay alive. So very valuable there. So they didn't really give us anything new here. Again, just kind of confirmed that the flip side of the card is going to be the same, which personally is a little disappointing. I'm a little worried that Vulture might be just a little bit on the squishy side. 5 health, 3/3/3 defensively with no actual defensive tech on his card. With hit and run, you can kind of use that like defensive tech, but he doesn't actually have any baked into his card, so he's, tied for one of the squishiest three threats in the game, right up there with models like Gwen, or I think Shuri is a similar stat line as well. So very, very squishy. He will just die if you're not careful with this model. But he has some meaningful abilities on his card. He's quite a solid spender here, and Abduct is very, very good if you can use it properly. So he's got good things going for him. Whether or not they're good enough to make up for how squishy he is, will he be having the same effect on a game that something like Ghost Spider or Shuri would have? Kind of hard to say. His builder is fairly mediocre, leaves a lot to be desired, so in the early rounds, I don't think he's doing a crazy amount, especially since that builder is only range 2, so he has to get close to be able to do anything meaningful. So, honestly, I'm not 100% sure how to feel about him right now. I don't think he's all that great, but maybe I'll be surprised and he'll end up being a top meta choice. But yeah, he definitely feels a little on the weaker side right now. I don't really know how to get around that. Raptor Strike being range 2 feels weird to me. Like, obviously, logically, it makes some sense, but I think you totally could have given Vulture, like, a range 3 builder, or even just, like, give him an extra range 4 attack that maybe has, like, a Pursuit or something on it as a gainer. I think that could have worked really well for Vulture, and they didn't choose to do that, so I think he's going to be lacking. He doesn't have the durability to get into those close range bands, but he doesn't have far range bands. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, you can do some interesting things with hit and run, and maybe that works for him. So we'll see. But I'm cautious to put any like strong opinions on this guy just because I don't know, maybe someone will unlock him and he'll be really, really good. So we'll see, but I'm definitely a little hesitant on him right now. Going through the rest of the post here, they just kind of talk about all of his different abilities here, and what they do. And most of it is stuff we've seen before. A lot of these abilities aren't new. I think the only really new thing on his card is Abduct. Everything else we've kind of seen before. And of course we have the nice splash art for him here, which they did a good job with the design on this character, I will say that much. The model looks great, the card art fits, and everything's working well there. So yeah, overall, I'm still in a weird boat with Vulture. I was really excited for him at first, and he's kind of disappointed me a little bit. So I don't know if you guys are feeling the same on him, but I'd definitely be curious to hear what you guys think. As far as my thoughts are concerned, though, that is going to wrap up this reveal breakdown here. So, not too much to talk about here. We really just, we've confirmed that the backside of his card hasn't changed at all. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking down below. I definitely want to hear what you guys are planning with Vulture here. You planning on playing him in Spider Foes, or let's assume for now that maybe he is Criminal Syndicate? Or are there other places you think he'd splash really, really nicely? I think places where you can give him a little bit more power, a little bit more easily. Even something like a Steve 1 or something like that could be interesting for him because that gives him the ability to do things like abduct or hit and run as early as turn 1, which is kind of cool. But the big problem with that is he doesn't really have the range to do those turn 1s, so it's kind of hard to say for sure how valuable that is. But still, there's some interesting things there. Maybe even something like Emma, where you're gonna have more power on him as the game goes on. A little bit of healing to kind of make up for that squishiness as well. I know that's typically not what she goes for, but still, just kind of ideas there, right? So yeah, I think there could be some interesting places for him. Definitely let me know where you guys are planning on trying him out. Very curious to hear, and let me know what your guys' thoughts on him as a whole. Am I overly down on him? Do you guys think he's actually going to be amazing, and I'm 100% just like in the wrong on this, and he's going to be a top metal model? Definitely curious to hear what you guys are thinking on him, but that is going to do it for my thoughts on this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys are excited about the new releases here. I'm still very excited for the Spider-Foes box, even if Vulture is a little bit of a disappointment to me personally. I think the rest of the box is still looking really, really cool. So definitely still looking forward to when that comes out. But yeah, that's going to be it for this reveal breakdown. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, have a great day. Peace.